Hello and good evening once again from the Tully's on the Vestal Parkway. My name is Brooks Hill. Time for another Tully's Good Times with Coach show. To my right, your left, back home, watching on YouTube is Black Bears head coach Brant Sherwood. And Coach, first question, had a little bit more free time this weekend. Only one game. What were you able to do with the extra day off with the Black Bears only playing one game last weekend?
Well, I got to have a little fun Friday night, so Saturday was spent recovering and driving down to Philadelphia to, spend some time with the family down there. So we just ate good food, relaxed, watched some Netflix, and, a little R&R for the weekend. So fully ready to go and hit the ground running this week.
Yeah, a lot of things going on this weekend with the Black Bears traveling up to Michigan for the first time of 2 times this season. And it'll be Motor City on both Friday and Saturday. In fact, we had talked about it in our pregame interview that this kind of kicks off a 3-game set with Motor City. We've seen a lot of those this year with teams like Elmira, Danbury, and Watertown, but not with a team from Michigan like Motor City or Port Huron, who we're going to see later on in March. I saw you talking with one of the local news stations about it, about playing a team that you don't get to see too often, as much as some of the other ones in the division this year. But now, with Motor City being in the division in the Empire, it makes last Friday's win and these next 2 games that much more important.
Yeah, of course. So it's just fun seeing new teams. I wish we got to play some other teams in the league. I think it's good to make adjustments too, and different teams have different systems, so it really tests you in that way to see if you can adopt a new forecheck for the day or whatever. But yeah, going into this weekend, we're really pushing for Friday. I'm really harping on that to be a win. That's kind of what I'm thinking in the future for playoffs. You got to go win a game on the road, and then you come back home for 2. Hopefully, if we're still in this position, I plan on being. But yeah, it's good to get that first one on the road, and then hopefully we can get the next 2 after that. But we're just going to focus one game at a time.
Well, it's a neat thing that you bring it up like that. Being when you play a 3-game playoff series in the minors, the first game typically does start at the lower seeded team. If the playoffs ended today, Binghamton would play the first game in Motor City if both teams advance to the second round in Fraser, Michigan. And then both teams would have to travel all the way to Binghamton for games 2 and then 3 if necessary. So like you said, taking care of that first game is very important, and you guys were able to take the first game at home. Now you're going to go try to take the first game on the road as well.
And it's much harder, playing on the road. We play great in our building. We're very accustomed to it. We feed off the energy of the fans, and it's a pleasure to be there. It's nice, comfy, and cozy, but you got to grind out those wins on the road, and you might have to play a little grittier style. You might not have the space that we have in our rinks, so there is different ways to approach the game, whether it's packing it in or making sure we're getting shots from everywhere on the ice if it's a small rink and having a good net front presence. But, yeah, we play very well in our rink, specifically with our ozone rotation that we got to see this past weekend.
Yeah, you guys, me and Cole talked about it during the broadcast. You guys were able to essentially wear down the Motor City defense, not only when you guys were on the power play, but also at even strength. And when you get guys who are caught out there for a long time, it's actually funny. Me and Bobby were talking about it. It's almost like NHL 24. Like, if you're just out there long enough, the other team just kind of shuts down. The fatigue factor comes in.
You see their energy bar going down.
It's in the red, and they're just barely moving.
They're most likely to take penalties, cause turnovers, whatever it might be. There's a lot of mistakes happening on their part, and they get hemmed in, and that just means more grade A's for us. So if we can continue to not turn over the puck at the top of the circles or at the offensive blue line, and just keep that pressure and hang on to the puck and have possession, then I think we're a very, very tough team to beat.
Well, you guys were able to take care of business against Motor City last Friday. on February 2nd. Weird month for the Black Bears. Only 3 home games in the month of February. We had 1 already last week, and then we have 2 at the end of the month. So 3 weeks without a home game for the Black Bears.
We're suffering
It
around
is.
here.
It is a little tough.
It's going to be tough times.
It is. I can say I am not packed yet for Thursday for the road trip to Michigan. So that's going to be a fun thing for me to do starting tonight and tomorrow.
That's fun about taking a couple days off. Then you just jam it into a couple days too.
And it's kind of
double-edged.
Yeah. It's a give and take is the way that I would describe it. But one thing that I wanted to point out, this past game, Black Bears score 6 goals. Don Oliveri gets the second hat trick of the season for the Black Bears, and I also believe his second hat trick of the year. Both of the hat tricks coming at home this year. But then your other 3 goals come from what would be labeled as the secondary scoring. You know, Josh Fletcher, Liam Anderson, some of the other guys. Like, you're not having a bunch of your quote-unquote bigger names score 3 of the other, like, score half of your goals, essentially.
Yeah, and that's kind of been the trend all year is we're getting contributions from everywhere in the lineup. So I think at the beginning of the year I said we have 3 first lines, and I truly believe that. Now I feel like we have 3 second lines, so I think we're a little bit grittier, and sometimes the second line's better than the first line.
Yeah.
So they're adding a lot of depth, and like I could flip-flop the lineup around, I could flip-flop the power plays around, and I really think everyone could produce. We have a team that's individually ready for the next level. Like I think all these guys can play in the SP or the East Coast, but they're happy to be here, and they want to win a championship. So that creates that kind of depth in the lineup, and it's truly a special group.
You know, I was actually, speaking of winning championship, I was doing some research online about past Binghamton teams this week, getting ahead for a little bit project coming up later on in the season, and just looking through some of the great storylines from the 2011-2012 Calder Cup team for the Binghamton Senators.
Weren't they an 8th seed, or they're the last team to get in the dance?
I believe they, if I heard the story correctly, they got in on the last day of the regular season to the AHL playoffs.
So cool.
And then they were in elimination, and I believe Robin Leonard stopped a penalty shot in overtime. And they went on to win the game to stay off elimination.
Very cool. Very cool.
So,
but, sometimes you just got to hit your stride. We've had a good stride all season, so we need to continue that, and that's why we're just trying to get better every day, because the important hockey is in March and April. Not that this is not important, but you do want to be catching your strides at the right times.
It's funny you say that, because that was actually going to be my next question. You see it a lot. It's not only at this level, but it happens across all sports at all levels. Teams talk about peaking at the right time. If you peak in December in college basketball, might not have the best March when it comes tournament time. Or, for our case in hockey, if you're peaking through, if you have a great October and November, you might be limping. You already might have your spot secured, but you're essentially limping into the playoffs, almost where you're not playing any meaningful games going down the stretch. I refer to the Boston Bruins last year. Won the President's Trophy, knew that they were going to be the first seed. The playoffs were going to run through Boston.
They probably knew it in February. Just kind of a similar situation to us, and you see those trends, and you don't want to fall into one of those trends. So that's my job, is to hold these guys accountable even after wins. There's been some wins this year where I'm not happy with the way the team played, and you gotta be honest with them. You gotta tell them that, like, hey, you guys. Pardon my French, you're not the shit. Like, you constantly have to be getting better, and if you're not, you will get called out on this team, and the guys will see it too, and they'll try to pick each other up. But that's my job, is to make sure there's always internal competition going on this team. You're always battling for spots in the lineup. If you're technically on the third line, you want to get to that first line, or you want to hit those marks. You should be trying to get better in areas that you're bad at, and I'm there to call you out as a friend, but as a coach, and yeah, that's kind of the motto. It's just like getting better each day. Or what are you doing? We're in single A. There's something you can do to get better every day. And we try to switch up drills. We try to keep it fresh, keep everyone happy, come to the rink. But ultimately, it is on them to push themselves, and they've been doing a fantastic job at it. And we'll have some new players coming in as soon as the college season ends. So that creates even more competition of them looking over their shoulders. Hey, I got this young kid trying to take my spot, and you don't want to give up that spot.
No.
But at the same time, if we're having battles in practice for that, then I think we're heading on the right path.
I think it's a good thing that when you have the college guys come in last year, I think the guys who came in at the tail end of last season proved to be big additions, not only down the stretch last year, but have also become quite regulars here this year. One of the guys here tonight, Andrew Logar, came in late last season, one of the college guys, and he's on a tear right now currently. In that secondary scoring group, double-digit
awesome.
Goals.
Yeah, he might be one of the best bumpers in the league. He plays the middle so well on the power play, and he buries his chances. And then when maybe his legs aren't there, he adds a different element, and he's one of those guys that's constantly clawing for a spot, even though in my eyes it's solidified. But you never know. You never know what type of competition is going to come in. And when those college kids came in last year, it totally changed the dynamic of our team. It was a culture shock because they came in and worked hard and competed, and it elevated everyone else around them. So in a sense, they became leaders instantly just by doing what they did at school.
Well, I'm excited to see who those guys are, and when that time comes.
Might get another Bulldog. I don't know.
Oh yeah, the pipeline from Adrian, Michigan, all the way to Binghamton, New York, is still running pretty heavy. The newest member of the Adrian to Binghamton Express is Taylor McCloy. He played his first game in the FPHL this past Friday night. He was the captain, the Fayetteville Marksman, the last 2 years, spent the last 4 seasons in the SPHL, guy from Ontario. But even though he didn't show up in the score sheet, and I think people get lost in translation a little bit, that you don't see, he didn't have a point. Okay, yes, that's true. But from a coach's perspective, how do you assess Taylor McCloy's game playing one night?
From a coach's perspective, I thought he was top 5 player on the ice for both teams. He wins every draw. He protects the puck well. He gains zones. It's very hard to box him out. He's a big body, has a great net front presence. If you saw our power play was clicking a little bit. I think we're 3 for 7 or something like that. But his net front presence, he doesn't get a assist on it, but he's the one that's kind of standing in front while Don Oliveri's ripping that one-timer. So there's a sacrifice to his game. And when I played against him, he was just a 200-foot player. He's very good on the D side of things. He can get the puck and carry it zone to zone from the D zone. But mostly what I saw is his face-offs. His face-offs were unbelievable. I think he went 9 for 11. So that's initial possession, off a puck drop, and it means so much. So I know he was honestly pretty discouraged, and I'm telling him dude, you played great and stuff, but you do want to see the numbers, and the guys look at it. I totally get it. You want to get your points, but I had a coach tell me this once, when you're done playing, no one really cares how many points you got in the season. No one cares what your individual accolades are. They just remember if you're a good dude in the locker room and if you worked hard. It's that simple. And would you want to work with this guy in another job, or is he just a selfish point getter? And we're very happy to have a defensively responsible center like Taylor.
It's good. One thing that I think sometimes gets overshadowed is, the solid defensive play, not only from the forwards but from the defensemen as well. I know me and you have talked about it off the air, and, the flashy thing is looking at the goals, looking at the assists, because, points get you called up, and when
Not on our team, though.
No, yeah.
Mac Lewis, Matthew Boislard, they're doing a great job, and they have amazing reports from the coaches in the SP, like, how'd you find this guy? Why didn't he have this many? And they're playing the right way, so you never really know. But, yeah, you're right. Points do get you called up, and that's what gets you recognized. But, sometimes they're looking for something a little more specific.
Yeah, sometimes all it is, being in the right spot, making sure that the other guys aren't the ones getting points in a different colored jersey.
100%, yeah.
Talk about that, about the Norris Trophy all the time. Best defenseman in the league, typically you wouldn't think of somebody who has 80 points as getting the best defenseman, but
does your boy Burns? Does he have a chance this year?
No. The best defenseman on the team, let alone is Jacob Slavin. Slavin, best on puck defenseman in the NHL, and I stand by it. But never gets consideration because
boring.
Yeah,
they think it's boring.
Yeah, he gets 3 goals a year, and it's like, hey, those 3 goals are big, but
it's kind of gonna be like the guy you're talking to next, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, we're real excited. We got Dan Stone hanging out with us tonight after we get done here with Coach Sherwood. Dan Stone's going to join the show. Talk about being a stay-at-home defenseman, all those penalty minutes that he's racking up this year, and how he headbutted a puck into the net. So we got a whole slate of topics to talk about with Dan Stone.
Oh, he'll surprise you with his offensive abilities.
I know.
I've never seen a headbutt goal, but that was the first.
I've seen his one-timer after practice. I don't understand why he's not using it more. I think I'm going to have to ask him.
You might see him in a different role this weekend, so I'm excited for him.
I am too. Coach, before we let you go, obviously it's final football game of the season here, so I have to get your take real quick. You thinking 49ers or the Chiefs after the Black Bears are done playing Elmira on Sunday? We also kind of forgot to talk about...
If we can stay up for it.
Yeah, if we can stay up. I might go to sleep on the way home. We're in the third period.
Getting a little shut-eye, but no. I'll be rooting for the 49ers. I think Kansas City's going to win, but my stepdad and my mom, they live out in the San Francisco area, so I think it'd be cool for them to see a championship. I'm sick of Kansas City though. Yeah,
I think a lot of people are for a lot of different reasons. The Panthers fan in me would be excited, I think, for Christian McCaffrey to win Super Bowl because I know how hard that guy works. I mean, that guy gets the ball 40 touches a game.
How many times he's been injured and come back, and he's an amazing player. He helped me in fantasy this year. I don't mind the guy.
Yeah, but then again, my first pick in fantasy was Travis Kelce, and he's done me good all year long, even after fantasy is wrapped up.
Only so many tight ends out there.
Yeah, it's true. So, all right. So Coach Sherwood says 49ers. I'm going to side with the Chiefs. I think
maybe we'll do a little side wager.
Maybe. I think I'm 2-0 in those in my career with under the table bets between Coach Sherwood and myself.
Buffalo Sabres haven't been helping me out, all right?
No, they have not. But that's all right. There's always next year. And who knows? Maybe there's going to be an NHL team out in Utah. They keep talking about it. So, actual final question before we let you go here. There's been a lot of talk about expansion in hockey, about getting past 32 teams at the top level. The ECHL is adding 2 teams next year in Bloomington and out at Lake Tahoe. And then there's always rumors going around single A about who can put an ice plant in, what arena fits the team. Where would you like to see a professional hockey team that currently doesn't have a home? That's across any level, and then you can go like, hey, I think they actually fit in at this level. Whether that's all the way at the top, if you want to see another single A team, where do you think they can fit?
There's a few places. Well, obviously the Quebec Nordiques, where they used to have a team. I think they deserve a team up there, and I believe it would thrive. And it never hurts to have another Canadian team. People are going to watch. People are going to show up to the games. I don't know why it didn't work out originally, but I do think when hockey gets introduced again up there, it's like it's going to be automatic. And like a lot of people are saying Atlanta again, giving them the third chance.
Third time's the charm.
But I don't know if I believe in it necessarily. So it'd be cool to see Utah. Maybe.
It's a tough
Hawaii,
one.
Mexico City.
Oh yeah. The travel to Hawaii. They might be
undefeated. Maybe Puerto Rico will get a team.
Puerto Rico,
no
Mexico
taxes,
City,
so they can
and
compete
Hawaii.
with Florida and Texas teams.
They would be undefeated. They'd be undefeated at home.
Yeah. How about Texas though?
Yeah,
San
Texas,
Antonio.
San Antonio.
Yeah,
good.
Could work out. I think more hockey the better. Once I guess the whole saying is once you go to a hockey game for the first time, you get hooked. And having it live in your city, it seems like a no-brainer. But
Yep.
I'm not willing to stick my neck out on the line. I'll just say with Quebec City.
Okay.
So,
All right. Quebec City. That's a good one. Personally, I think great. Probably single A town. I don't know if double A hockey would work there. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. I think that would be
That'd
a
be
good one. They got the convention center. They got Coastal Carolina right there. They already have single A baseball. I think it's good weather year round down there. So I think
if
it
we're going
could work.
single A, I'm gonna go Daytona Beach so Thomas Ray can play in his hometown.
Okay.
And then I could go live with my dad down there.
That team also might be undefeated at home. A lot of distractions down there. But all right, Coach Sherwood, 3 games, 3 nights. Go ahead. You probably need to go ahead and start sleeping now. And start packing.
Yeah.
So, all
Gotta
right. Well,
pack Tucker's bags as well.
oh, yeah. Got to make sure Tucker stays safe. Good old trip to Grandma's this weekend. So, thank you for your time. We'll talk to you on Friday for the Tully's Coaches Corner and get set for 2 games coming up against Motor City Friday and Saturday. Friday night's game at 7:30 on YouTube. Saturday night's game at 6 o'clock. And then while everybody is asleep, the Black Bears will be traveling to Elmira, getting ready for a Super Bowl Sunday showdown with the River Sharks at 1 o'clock from First Arena. So 3 games, 2 different states, whole lot of bus hours this weekend coming up for the Black Bears. Make sure to stay tuned, and we will talk to Coach Sherwood on Friday.
The Black Bears are back at home on Friday, February 23rd and Saturday the 24th at 7 p.m. to take on the Watertown Wolves. Make sure to join us on Friday night for American Special Hockey Night. The Black Bears will be wearing another specialty jersey and will be auctioned off live following the game. Experience the new way to watch your Black Bears play all season long, at home and on the road, free on YouTube. Fans, the next Tully's Good Times with Coach Show will be February 20th at 6 p.m. at the Tully's on the Vestal Parkway location. Join myself, Brooks Hill, along with head coach Brant Sherwood, and some of the Black Bears as we have a good time and recap what's been going on with the Black Bears and what everybody did on their weekend off. Hope to see you back out at Tully's soon. Friday, February 23rd and Saturday the 24th at 7 p.m. to take on the Watertown Wolves. Make sure to join us on Friday night for American Special Hockey Night. The Black Bears will be wearing another specialty jersey and will be auctioned off live following the game. Experience the new way to watch your Black Bears play all season long at home and on the road, free on YouTube. Fans, the next Tully's Good Times with Coach Show will be February 20th at 6 p.m. at the Tully's on the Vestal Parkway location. Join myself, Brooks Hill, along with head coach Brant, Sherwood, and some of the Black Bears as we have a good time and recap what's been going on with the Black Bears and what everybody did on their weekend off. Hope to see you back out at Tully's soon. Bears are back at home on Friday, February 23rd and Saturday the 24th at 7 p.m. to take on the Watertown Wolves. Make sure to join us on Friday night for American Special Hockey Night. The Black Bears will be wearing another specialty jersey and will be auctioned off live following the game. Experience the new way to watch your Black Bears play all season long at home and on the road, free on YouTube. Fans, the next Tully's Good Times with Coach Show will be February 20th at 6 p.m. at the Tully's on the Vestal Parkway location. Join myself, Brooks Hill, along with head coach Brant Sherwood, and some of the Black Bears as we have a good time and recap what's been going on with the Black Bears and what everybody did on their weekend off. Hope to see you back out at Tully's soon. Bears are back at home on Friday, February 23rd and Saturday the 24th at 7 p.m. to take on the Watertown Wolves. Make sure to join us on Friday night for American Special Hockey Night. The Black Bears will be wearing another specialty jersey and will be auctioned off live following the game. Experience the new way to watch your Black Bears play all season long at home and on the road, free on YouTube. Fans, the next Tully's Good Times with Coach Show will be February 20th at 6 p.m. at the Tully's on the Vestal Parkway location. Join myself, Brooks Hill, along with head coach Brant Sherwood, and some of the Black Bears as we have a good time and recap what's been going on with the Black Bears and what everybody did on their weekend off. Hope to see you back out at Tully's soon.
Welcome back, everybody. Tully's Good Times with Coach Show. My name is Brooks Hill, voice of the Black Bears, and now we're joined by Black Bears defenseman Dan Stone. Dan, thanks for coming on and spending some time with us.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so no secret, you are one of the Adrian College Bulldogs that I have now been found out is my crutch when I need something to say about either you or Dakota Bond, because you guys play together all the time. And I appreciate that you guys gave me some constructive criticism on, hey, how many times did you say Adrian College in the last broadcast? I wanted to make sure I fit that into tonight's show. So now I'm aware of it. I'm actually trying to be self-conscious about it. Maybe not give the Bulldogs so much credit anymore moving forward.
You can keep saying it. No, I just was watching back some of the games, and I just kept hearing Adrian College, which it's not a bad thing. You know, Adrian College is a great school, so they always deserve a shout-out.
Has produced a lot of Black Bears players. So you, Stanko, Bond, and Smithers, or Connor Smith, I should say, along with Taylor McCloy. So we got 5 on the roster this year. Highest at the same time has been 4 when all of you guys started off the season, and Dakota joined us from the Rail Yard Dogs a couple of games in. So let me ask some hard-hitting questions right off the rip.
Go for it.
All right. So last year, when the college kids came in, Stanko and Smith come in. How come not Dan Stone?
I was retired.
Really?
Actually, yeah.
Okay.
So after I graduated college, I figured I was done playing hockey. I'd go get a job. I worked sales for a year. Then I was just coaching hockey, and as soon as I saw Brendan and Connor playing for the Black Bears, I sent Brendan a text saying, hey, if there's a spot, get me in there, because I just miss playing hockey so much.
So you had already hung him up.
I had hung him up. I was done. I thought my career was over.
That just seems so hard to believe. And then, so at this point, how long had it been, I guess since your last game as a Bulldog to when you sent the text to Stanko? What's that time frame looking like?
Oh, my God. 2 years?
2 years.
2 years, yeah.
So, still skating out there, playing any men's league?
Yeah,
or?
of course, playing men's league. When you retire, you don't actually retire. You just don't really play real games anymore. And I was coaching as well, too, so I was still on the ice.
Oh, okay.
Still around the game.
Well, what ages were you coaching?
High school ages.
Okay.
So.
Well, that's good. And let me think here about how I want to phrase this next one. What was the workout regimen like during this 2-year period? Was it like non-existent, or were you still in there, picking up things, setting them back down, that kind of stuff?
Do one sit up a day, and that'd just be me getting out of bed in the morning.
Okay. All right. So any culture shock once you're back with the Black Bears about, putting your body back into shape? Did you have to shake off some rust? Once you got the text message that, oh, hey, you're gonna be a part of the team, is it like, oh, this is go time now? Like, I'm going to go to the gym every day. I'm gonna drink a gallon of water before bed every night, all that kind of stuff? Or was it just, I know what I have to do, and when that time comes, I'll be ready?
No. Of course, there was a little bit of rust at the beginning, but when things were kind of getting going, kind of the summer leading up to this season, I was definitely in the gym, kind of getting the body back into an athletic shape.
All right. Well, that's it seems to be paying its dividends here. I will say, now that there is a new Black Bears player on the team, you are no longer leading the team in least amount of penalty minutes because Taylor McCloy is yet to take a penalty. You are all the way up there with 6.
6 penalty minutes.
6 penalty minutes. What a goon.
They better watch out.
Better watch out when Dan Stone comes skating across the ice. But we were talking about, stay-at-home defensemen with Coach Sherwood earlier in the show. I mentioned some names. He threw out some as well at the NHL level. Is that how you would describe your game or your role here with the Black Bears this year?
Yeah, of course. I do say I'm a stay-at-home defenseman. I'm not going to rush the puck end-to-end every time. My job is to take care of the house and what's behind me, and I'm going to go out there and do that.
Well, what do you mean when people say protect the house? I think I know what you're talking about with my little analytical hockey knowledge, but for a casual fan, if they hear me say it on the broadcast this week, what does it mean when I say Dan Stone's out there protecting the house?
It could mean a few different things, but kind of to me, protecting the house kind of means taking care of in front of the net, taking care of the D zone.
So then, the space in front, like when the guy, tries to screen the goalie, making sure that the goalie has a line of sight to the puck. He can see it at all times. You're not getting in his way, that kind of stuff.
That kind of stuff. The house can go from the front of the net to the dots to the slot, top of the circles. So it's a big area.
Okay. All right. So it's a big house.
Big house.
Big house, and it's Dan Stone's job to protect it. Now, you're paired up with one of your college teammates, Dakota Bond. How often did you guys play with each other while you were at Adrian College?
We didn't.
So you did not?
Did not play with Dakota Bond in college.
Okay.
No, we were always on different D pairings.
Okay. All right, so we see Dakota move the puck a little bit more. He gets a lot more power play time. We see you on the penalty kill and protecting the house, per se. So how does it work that you have one guy who I'd say is more offensively minded than the other, being you? Is that typically what you want in a D pairing? Do you want two guys who are stay at home and then you send guys who are offensive and let the forwards take care of business? What's kind of the mindset in that?
I always like to have a D pairing where one's more defensive than the other.
Okay.
Having a D man be able to jump up in the rush and be a fourth forward per se it can be really good. It can help a lot of teams offensively, and having that defensive defenseman with them really keeps the other players' minds at ease, knowing that if there was a turnover, there's still someone back there, protecting the house.
Yeah, protecting the house. That's going to be the phrase of the week. Protect the house. You might be getting a cease and desist from Under Armour pretty soon. Hear about that. But 2 goals this year, 10 assists. One of the more funky goals I've seen this year. So it comes on December 23rd, I believe, against Watertown. We have the clip ready to roll here. I'm going to paint the picture a little bit, just for somebody who wasn't at the arena that night. This is when I was sick with pneumonia. So I need you to imagine me laying in a hospital bed, watching the game on my phone, and seeing this for the first time. Obviously, you lived it, but all right, we're going to go ahead and roll the clip now. So this is the Black Bears' headbutt goal of the season. So Connor Smith throws a puck towards the net. It gets deflected up into the air, and it goes off what appears to be the tip top of Dan Stone's helmet and goes into the Watertown net. A delayed reaction from you. You saw the puck go in, and then you just throw your hands up in the air, like NHL 94 style. A very, very simple celebration, and I gotta say, Coach says use your head a lot. Well, when you think about things, you literally used your head to score probably the oddest goal of the Black Bears season, and there's been a couple of them this year. So run me through that play in your head.
Yeah, I was just I saw Smitty. He was taking the puck up the right wing side, and Coach always preaches middle lane drive. So I looked around. I figured I was the middle lane guy, so I'm going to drive the net. And if you drive the net, stop at the net, good things happen. And luckily, the puck flicked up. I was standing there. My head was in the right spot, and it just went in.
Did it hurt?
Oh, no.
No. Okay. Just making sure. The way that you look around after the puck has been swirling in the back of the net and looking for somebody to hug, I think it's just a priceless moment. I really wish we had a great photograph of that. You could hang that in the Louvre. So
I figured the puck went in a funky way, right? And
yeah,
a lot of people, they have really nice sellies, like they drop to one knee or they, skate towards the fans and jump into the glass. But I figured, I didn't really do much for that goal, so I just turned around and threw my hands in the air.
Yeah, you wave them like you just don't care.
Exactly.
I think it would have been insane if you just ran into the wall and jumped like as hard as you can into it. I think that would have been great. here I am watching on my phone, being like, did Dane Stone just score? And sure enough, I couldn't believe my eyes. And next thing you know, I'm getting plugged up with IVs and everything like that. So made my hospital stay a little bit more enjoyable, knowing that you were able to get on the score sheet. A lot of times, you don't show up, and that's because you're stay-at-home defenseman, protecting the house, all of the cliches, but also you really pride yourself at staying on the ice throughout the game. Just 6 penalty minutes this year, so those are 3 2-minute minor penalties. Far and away, realistically, the least amount on the team. Not getting in fights, not getting game misconducts, that kind of thing. Talk about, the discipline that it takes to, stay out of the penalty box as much as you do.
Yeah, and, penalties can really hurt a team.
Yes.
Putting the team down a man isn't the best, and especially in this league, there's always a parade to the box, right? So, if
I found out.
So,
I've run out of spots in my scorebook for penalties twice this year.
Oh, wow.
And it has 20 spots for penalties. So it's not fun when it starts filling up. Some of those games against Danbury gets out of hand and gets out of hand quick.
They do, but they're still fun games.
Yeah.
But the way I see it, is I'm not always a power play guy. I'm not always the one scoring the goals, getting the assists. So I always think, how can I help my team? And, on the penalty kill, that's when I can shine, right? That's when I can, play hockey. I can go hard, and I can really help my team win.
What makes playing defense on the penalty kill so special compared to just playing good defense 5-on-5? It seems like you enjoy being on the penalty kill.
It's about momentum.
Yeah.
Really, killing off a penalty can really help the momentum. It can really get the boys fired up. People cheer for a goal, people cheer for a nice hit, but, when you block a shot, the boys cheer. When you clear the zone, the boys cheer, right? And that gets them fired up.
Yeah. So you're saying, is that that's your way really to contribute to get the guys buzzing?
Yeah, that's how I can contribute best.
What do you like most about playing here in Binghamton?
Ooh, we have a really good locker room. Not just the facility, but I'm talking about the people in that locker room. It's we have a lot of good people on this team, and we have a lot of great fans supporting us. The Black Bears are a great organization. I'm very, very happy and very fortunate to be on this team.
It seems to be a common theme that a lot of guys who come up here to the guest chair and talk with me, pulling their teeth to come up here on the show, but didn't have to do that with you. It seemed to really keep hammering the point that it's a good locker room, that you guys get along on and off the ice. People who grow up playing sports, you have people on your team that you might not actually be a friend with, but at the end of the day, they're your teammate, and you care about them in a certain way, maybe some more than others, but the way that you guys talk about it makes it seem that you guys are all in the same battle together, and on and off the ice, that you are a tight-knit group.
Yeah, I'd say the team's very tight, we all stay together. We all hang out together. The team's getting together after this to hang out. So I feel like we're not just friends when we walk into the rink. We're also friends when, in the real world.
It's really nice to hear about that. It's comforting to see you guys, being able to get along. You guys coming up to the office, hanging out, asking how some of our days are going, what we're up to when you're on your way home after practice, that kind of thing. So you were a big topic of discussion last week in the locker room, in the front office. The fan club had a meeting.
Oh, yeah.
The Dan Stone fan club. And then it got brought to my attention that there are a lot of people who want a certain kind of shirt.
Oh, bring your shirt up.
Yep. So can you talk about let's talk about what went into this special shirt. You wore it around the locker room, and instantly I'm walking through. I just finished interviewing Coach Sherwood for our Tully's Coaches Corner segment, making my way back up to the office to go edit. And sure enough, I get stopped by 3 different players on the team. I want that shirt. How do I get Stone's shirt? How do I get one like that? Well, I want his. Why can't everybody have it? So why don't you set your microphone down and then show everybody what we're talking about?
All right, well,
and then
we'll show
let's
the
talk
shirt.
let's talk about what actually went into it. So very, very, very limited edition. This was not for sale to the general public yet. And oh, look at that, a round of applause. All right, there we go. In case anybody's wondering back home, and if you remember the, I would say early 2000s, mid 2000s Got Milk campaign commercials with the milk mustaches. I don't know why I put my finger up there. I have facial hair. I have
a mustache.
I have a mustache. You just shaved yours. I can tell.
I did.
Okay, so that's kind of a parody of Got Milk, and it's Got Stoned, and it's a silhouette
Silhouette of myself on the shirt.
There you go. And
see
you got all the brands on there in the front of the helmet, on the gloves, everything.
everything.
52 numbers on there. So apparently this is a hot commodity item, and if you would enjoy owning this shirt, it's coming soon. You can get information by following the Black Bears on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. So be on the lookout there on social media. Also, if you're not signed up for the Black Bears text alerts or the email list, I implore you to sign up to those, because we're going to send out a message saying when these shirts are going to be made available. It'll probably be a pre-order. That way we have an exact number of how many we need to order. This is very special. I believe, how many of these were made? Yeah, 7. So this is one of 7 right here.
One of 7, limited
A
edition.
very, very limited edition. I almost threw Bobby under the bus a little bit there. I was going to say email him about getting a shirt, but I won't say that. Thank you. And hopefully we're going to have more player shirts like this throughout the remainder of the season as well. I know we have a couple already in store. We're gauging interest from the locker room to see how highly the guys like it. And once we have the guys okay about it, then we're also doing order probably for that as well. So make sure you're signed up for text message alerts and the email blast with the Binghamton Black Bears. You can find all of that information online at binghamtonblackbears.com, and you can sign up for those lists. So be on the lookout. Information. Got Stone shirts. All right. This is one of 7. You could have 1, or you could have 7. Who knows? Just go ahead, and we'll let you know as soon as those are ready and available for order. So what do you think of the shirts? I don't think I've ever asked you. What do you think about it?
I love the shirts.
Okay.
I think they're
was really
awesome.
hoping you did.
Yeah, and I know Brendan Stanko's sitting there watching this stream thinking, how'd this guy get a shirt? So, haha. But
Who?
Brendan Stanko.
Oh.
You remember him.
Oh, yeah.
Once upon a time, he was here.
Yeah, the guy with the handlebar mustache.
The handlebar mustache guy, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, but no, I was approached saying the fan club's making a shirt of me, and I was like, why? That first was my first question, but no, this is awesome. I think they did a really great job. Gonna wear this one all the time, so thank you guys. We appreciate it.
It's this is a direct quote from the president of the fan club. I don't care about points. Look at his plus minus and how many penalties he takes.
There we go. Someone's finally noticing the plus minus.
There you go. So, in case you didn't know, plus 18 right here, second highest on the team. And technically second lowest amount of penalties now that Taylor McCloy is here, but we'll see if that number fluctuates once McCloy gets a couple of games underneath his belt. I know that you didn't get to play with Taylor at Adrian College, but what were you able to notice in his first game this past Friday?
I think Taylor brings a lot of experience to our lineup. He's very smart on the ice. He's very skilled in draws. He sees the ice a lot differently than most people, and he's able to make plays that a lot of people can't. So I think it's very awesome that we got Taylor on the squad.
I know it's been only one game, but can you see why he was captain of Fayetteville for the last 2 years?
I can definitely see why. He really leads on the ice, and he always makes the right plays. He's very smart.
All right. Well, Dan, I know you got 3 games in 3 days coming up. You guys were off Saturday, Sunday, and optional day Monday. I saw you working out downstairs in the locker room and in the weight room. But with 3 games and 3 nights, and we're in the second half of the season, how do you get your body ready to go here for 3, timely games, Friday, Saturday in Motor City after a full travel day on Thursday, and then a quick turnaround to an afternoon game in Elmira on Sunday? What's the key for you and the rest of the Black Bears?
Rest when you can.
Okay.
A lot of hockey, a lot of physical activity. We're going to be pretty tired by the end of the road trip, so we're going to have to rest while we can. Even if that means, on the bus, if we get a hotel room, sleep if you can.
Okay. So.
And lots of fluids, too. Drink your waters.
Lots of fluid. Are you a big electrolyte guy?
Water.
Water. Okay. Gatorade?
I like Gatorade, but water.
Okay. All right. So final question before we let you go. Speaking of road trip this weekend, favorite food when you're on the road?
This one's from Derek, I can tell. Favorite food when I'm on the road? I like a good breakfast.
Really?
A good breakfast.
What's a breakfast on a game day look like for you?
Scrambled eggs, bacon, sausage, shredded hash browns, pancakes, coffee.
Shredded hash browns.
Shredded hash browns.
Like at Waffle House.
Like a Waffle House.
Do you guys have Waffle Houses in Michigan?
I don't know.
Okay, not around the Adrian College way?
Not around us, no.
What about up in Calgary?
Can't say I've ever been to a Waffle House, I'll be honest.
Well,
Denny's is my spot.
Okay. All right. Well, got to plug Josh Fletcher in there, the Bird of Beef boys. You guys have been a staple, secondary scoring, stay-at-home defenseman, protecting the house. Both of you guys fly around the ice. I've noticed that a whole lot. When are we going to start to see your one-timer? I know I keep saying one more question, but I keep thinking of these as we keep going on. When are we going to see that one-timer that you practice every day after practice? When is Coach going to pull the safety off and let you just start ripping?
Safety's off. It's coming this weekend.
Okay. Yeah?
You'll see it.
All right.
You'll see it.
I hope I see one in the back of the net. I'll get real excited about it.
I'll do my best.
We're gonna clip this moment right here, and then Dan Stone goal this weekend. We're gonna play this on a loop.
All right.
All right. Dan, thank you for coming on.
Brooksy, thanks
we
for having
appreciate
me.
it. All right, that's the voice of Black Bears defenseman Dan Stone. Take a quick timeout, come back, wrap up the show right after this.
The Black Bears are back at home on Friday, February 23rd and Saturday the 24th at 7 p.m. to take on the Watertown Wolves. Make sure to join us on Friday night for American Special Hockey Night. The Black Bears will be wearing another specialty jersey and will be auctioned off live following the game. Experience the new way to watch your Black Bears play all season long at home and on the road, free on YouTube. Fans, the next Tully's Good Times with Coach Show will be February 20th at 6 p.m. at the Tully's on the Vestal Parkway location. Join myself, Brooks Hill, along with head coach Brant Sherwood, and some of the Black Bears as we have a good time and recap what's been going on with the Black Bears and what everybody did on their weekend off. Hope to see you back out at Tully's soon. Friday, February 23rd and Saturday the 24th at 7 p.m. to take on the Watertown Wolves. Make sure to join us on Friday night for American Special Hockey Night. The Black Bears will be wearing another specialty jersey and will be auctioned off live following the game. Experience the new way to watch your Black Bears play all season long, at home and on the road, free on YouTube. Fans, the next Tully's Good Times with Coach Show will be February 20th at 6 p.m. at the Tully's on the Vestal Parkway location. Join myself, Brooks Hill, along with head coach Brant, Sherwood, and some of the Black Bears as we have a good time and recap what's been going on with the Black Bears and what everybody did on their weekend off. Hope to see you back out at Tully's soon.
Big thanks to Brant Sherwood and Dan Stone who joined me on the show tonight. Friendly reminder for everybody here in the restaurant, the Black Bears will be back here at Tully's on the Vestal Parkway on Tuesday, February 20th at 6 p.m., exactly 2 weeks from tonight's show. So we're talking about this big, long week coming up for the Black Bears, and the next 7 days, starting on Thursday, is pretty busy. So I'm going to run through them real quickly. Thursday, travel day up to Michigan to go take on the Motor City Rockers Friday and Saturday in Fraser. After the game Saturday night, the Black Bears will start to make their way back towards Elmira, New York for a 1 o'clock showdown on Sunday. Monday and Tuesday, just business as usual, regular Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, Valentine's Day, the Black Bears will be back in Elmira for a showdown with the River Sharks again at 7:05. No game the weekend of the 16th and 17th. Black Bears are off. So 4 games in 7 days coming up for the Black Bears beginning on Thursday. So big week to see the guys' endurance levels and conditioning that they've been going through. No, Coach Sherwood has been pushing them in practice, not only today, but also last week as well, getting them ready, talking about not peaking at the right time. That's also off the ice as well, making sure their bodies are ready for this kind of stint that is coming up. Before we head out tonight, wanted to make sure that to tell you that you should subscribe to the Black Bears YouTube page, because you can see great videos like our first edition of Mic'd Up, featuring one of the players here tonight, Andrew Logar, who wore a microphone the last game against the Rockers. It's about a 6-minute video and talks about, or you just hear what a hockey player hears during the game. You can hear what he says. You can hear some of the chirps, him calling for the pass, him talking to Coach Sherwood, all that in a bag of chips. So if you want to see a player's perspective with an ISO cam, go check out the Black Bears YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe and see our first episode of Mic'd Up with Andrew Logar. Now, the next Black Bears home game is going to be a very special night because it'll be American Special Hockey Night, and the Black Bears will be wearing specialty jerseys once again for the only specialty jersey of February coming up. So I believe Bobby has put it up on the screen for everybody up at YouTube. Watching at home, if you're listening with us here, it is on the Black Bears social media as of this moment right now. So a big jersey unveiling, new specialty jerseys featuring our friends over at the Ice House, the Hawks, and the ASHA logos on the shoulders as well. Had a great time working with EJ, getting these ready to go and designing them. We're really excited to wear them. I believe that is Friday, February 23rd. And correct me if I'm wrong. Nope. Okay, I'm right. That's good. February 23rd, American Special Hockey Night against the Watertown Wolves. These jerseys will be auctioned off live after the game in Section 1. So go ahead and grab your tickets at binghamtonblackbears.com, or you can call the office at 607-722-7367. It's going to be a long 3 weeks without the Black Bears at home. So go ahead and make sure to grab your tickets. You can welcome them back with open arms, and it'll be for a great specialty night for a great cause as well. That's about all we have. Friendly reminder, next Tully's February 20th. Next home game is February 23rd at 7 p.m. against the Watertown Wolves. We will talk to you on YouTube Friday night from Fraser, Michigan, inside Big Boy Arena. For everybody helping out tonight, Bobby on the ones and twos, Cole on the setup and teardown, and EJ managing our social media and graphics, as well as Coach Sherwood and Dan Stone as well. We appreciate everybody. I'm Brooke Sill for the Binghamton Black Bears signing off. We'll see you next time.